Hi everyone, it's Sam. Welcome to my channel, Stitch Again Sam, where we will talk about cross stitch. I have helpers today. This is Finn. I don't know if Finn's actually been on camera before, but he is enjoying being on my lap. And Ginger is back here in the background. So I'm gonna try to get through today's video kind of quickly because, well, tax season. And yeah, right, Finn? You don't like tax season either. No. And it's a rough one. So we'll consider this the part. Okay, this is a channel about cross stitch, but we're gonna start with a little bit of a life update. And yeah, tax season is pretty much it, right? So it is the end of April. Oh, I wish. It's the end of March. This is always the point where like things always look kind of insurmountable, and I feel like I am usually like pretty, you gonna get down now? Or are you staying? Okay. I feel like I can usually sort of keep calm. This year just feels different. So, you know, I don't know. I've seen these signs mostly like in restaurants and stuff where it says something to the effect of like, we're short-staffed, we're sorry for the delays, but please be kind to the people that like actually showed up to work. So if you have someone prepare your tax returns, consider this like the video version of that sign, because I mean, we're trying. It's rough. I think there's a combination of like, there really are just staffing issues, and it was an issue in our industry pre-COVID, so like it certainly hasn't helped any. And you know, really our deadline, or the tax deadline, hasn't been April for 2 years. So now I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why it could seem worse this year, but it just does. So be kind. So I am squeezing this video in today because today is the 1-year anniversary of my very first Flosstube video. So I thought it appropriate to at least try to do a quick video. I am gonna do a giveaway to kind of celebrate that. So more on that later. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to do this quickly. This is a one-take situation, people. We don't have time for redos. We don't have time for editing. I'm probably not going to put a lot of links in the like description box below. So if there's something that I talk about that you have a question or can't find it, or what is she doing? Okay, I think she's trying to open the window. Then just leave me a comment and I'll try to answer those, but I'm probably not going to take the time to put together a whole lot of links to everything today, just for the sake of kind of getting through it. Okay, so let's start with finishes, okay? And they both happen to be Easter Bunny themed. So the first one is my finish from March Madness. And that was a lot of fun. I will definitely do that again. And that is a Steel City Stitchers thing, if you're not aware, where you do like brackets and people vote on Instagram polls, and it was a lot of fun. So my final winner was this little, oh shoot, it's from Etsy. See, this is where I would say I would put a link. Maybe I will try to put the links. But this is from an Etsy shop, and the name of the designer, I'm so sorry, is completely escaping me. But I will try to find it. So this is one, like, if you are like, I love that bunny, then let me know. I'll find it. It was originally stitched on, like, in a small hoop. I did it on perforated paper to make it kind of like an ornament thing. Uh-oh, ooh, that was weird. Like an ornament situation. So the stitching is finished. Technically the whole thing is supposed to be finished. I just need to add a little bit of felt and a hanger, and he'll be ready to go. He was super cute. And ironically, this was probably the smallest and easiest of any of the things that I had in my bracket. So I was kind of not unhappy that that one won. So he's done. And then my second finish is a project that was one of my Whip Go. Oh, I guess I have three. One was underneath, I forgot. This was on my Whip Go board, and technically this was I think my goal was 5 days, but I finished it. And it is, I think it's called Sweet Spring. It's a Satsuma Street pattern. You can get it on her Etsy shop. And it see the colors. Colors seem extra weird today. Okay, that's better. Why is it doing that? It keeps getting dark. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing that is changing that, but okay, you two just settle down. We don't have time for this. Can you see the cat? She's looking at the dog who's looking at her and whining. Oh my God, this is probably not gonna be good. Okay, the sample for this was stitched on like a kind of aqua blue color fabric, which was very pretty. Somewhere along the line, I was like, oh, I have this. You can see what this is just very inexpensive, even weave fabric from Hobby Lobby. And it has little, okay, this lighting thing is gonna kind of drive me crazy. It has little white flowers on it. And I thought that worked out pretty good. And then there are a couple spots where I got real excited. All right, so even if the color goes weird, I'll show you anyway. Where like the stitching just happened to line up with a flower perfectly. That's one. And, oh, here's the other one. Oh, the dog is stealing socks. Okay. And that little guy, I don't know if that's focusing in. Like, I was so weirdly excited when that happened. And then I'm showing my husband, I'm like, look at how it lines up. And he actually, I don't know if it's like the mathematician in him or whatever, was like, no, I think that's kind of cool how that worked out. So, I mean, at least he said it. So anyway, this is done. I'm thinking about putting it in. So I got one of these frames from the Target dollar spot that like, it seems that everyone bought. It fits like widthwise this way perfectly. It's a little, I mean, I could make it fit this direction, but it would be placed sort of weird. So I thought about getting like a little piece of fabric or something to fill in part of the bottom. But you then end up covering all of the like shiplappiness of it, which is what I think made this kind of cute. So I know they have these now that are, it's like a chalkboard inside. So I might go get one of those for this particular piece and save this for something where you might actually see the shiplap part of it. But something like that is kind of my plan. So that is done. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, and then finish number 3 is sort of a just, oh, I did not bring a board. Let me see, hold on. I have paper. Not a problem, because I know this is probably not gonna, wow. The lighting today is super weird. Okay, I finished the March, this is Crochet A Go-Go on Etsy, and Time Windows is the name. So there are 3 patterns that you purchase that each have 4 months in them. And I do have these on my Whip Go board. None of them had been called through March. And I was like, I'm falling kind of behind because I really wanted these to be done by the end of the year. So I had some time, so I just did March. I needed like a palette cleanser project, let's say. I'll show you later because my other Whip Go project, I'm not too sure about it. So I needed something to do in between. So I chose to finish up March. And then ironically, both of the numbers that got called for April are 2 spots to finish these, which is fine. Like, so I will probably do April's and then catch up like maybe January or February and get those done. So that got done. This is also possibly a contender to put in this frame and switch out. I think that might also work. So we'll see. So those are my 3 finishes, which is pretty good. I mean, even though it's tax season and I don't have a lot of time, I am still stitching. Like my stitching time happens, I wake up very early. So like I usually wake up about 5 in the morning and I will stitch for maybe like an hour in the morning before I get ready and get going for the day. And then again in the evening, like it's kind of the wind down before I go to bed. So like another hour. So I still get stitching time in, even though I'm working more. So those are finishes. Whip wise, first I will show you the 3 that I have left from March Madness. Now, I sort of did it where I didn't start everything, right? You start with 8 projects. I had a vote to decide what I would even work on, so I only ever worked on 4, if that makes sense. The first one, 2 of these are also Satsuma Street, so it's like Satsuma Street Day. These are the ornaments. This is Candy Claus. Oh, God, he has 1 leg. Okay, again, the lighting is going wonky weird. I wonder if it's because, I bet I usually have the camera over on that side by this light. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So Candy Claus has 1 leg and no face, but still a decent amount of progress on him. So I might do like a Christmas in July thing and finish him up maybe. He'll get done eventually. And then I also did a pairing of the Halloween ornaments by Satsuma Street. This one looks very weird because it's on black perforated paper. He won 2 rounds. He won against Santa, so he has a little bit more done on him than the other. So that one was done. And then the last was one of the, and this is another Etsy shop, Stitch. Oh, darn it. See, I need notes. I can't do this last minute because I forget things, but it's the Etsy shop that has all of the like recreations of like art, actual, you know, like painted art. So this is the start of Starry Night. And I am doing this on, this is 22 count Hardinger cloth that I had bought, and I'm doing it over 1. Very much inspired by Kaylee Cross Stitch. I mean, she's doing like much higher counts over 1 stuff, but I'm like, well, I have to start somewhere. So we're gonna start with 22 count over 1 single thread. And it's not bad. I like it. I kind of wish I would have got anchor black for the black part because I think you can see more through the black than, I mean, it looks okay there. But so this will be the entire width of it. Like that is the entire width. And I think even the height, like I've gotten to the edges on all of those. So that's as big as it will eventually be. And I'm excited about doing a couple of those and just having them, probably put them on my desk or something at work. So we have those whips left. Okay, I'll now share the most quick and boring whip. I did start the next, I call them the colors of pattern because it's like colors of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And these are Emma Congdon patterns that originally were published in Cross Stitcher magazine. I think winter and this one spring are now available in her Etsy shop at Stitchrovia on Etsy. So I started spring. I don't even know which side is up or down. But this colors thing is annoying. Okay. So I have a partial yellow square. I don't even remember what that is, but this is the, you know, it's like the whole grid of squares. If you've watched my channel, you've seen the other ones that I've been working on. So yellow. I'm trying this one starting from the bottom and working my way up. Just to, I don't know, just to mix it up. I think that's what I did. I don't know, whatever. Okay, yellow square, it's done. All right, so my other Whip Go project that got pulled for this month was, what is it called? Serendipity. And it's a Fat Quarter Shop pattern that was released last year. It was their fundraiser for Make-A-Wish. And so I made my donation last year, downloaded the pattern. I didn't particularly like the colors. The original was stitched on navy fabric and it was all like kind of mossy greens, yellow, pale yellows, some blues, white. It just didn't, like the colors didn't excite me, but the design looks like a quilt and I thought it was really cute. So I thought I will just do different colors. So I kind of kept my eye out on what other people had done. There were a few people that did colors, different colors that I liked. But nothing that, I don't know, excited me. And so what I thought about was doing it using up like leftover threads from other projects and making it like a scrappy quilt and just randomly picking colors. Okay. So this is where I'm at right now. And this is actually the bottom of the like this is the bottom, and it goes up from here. It doesn't really matter at this point. But like what I kind of did was pick colors, like for each block, the colors to my eye kind of went together, but like I didn't worry about what was in the other, like how it related to the others. And maybe that's just a little bit too random. I don't know. And I got to this point, like that's the whole row. And I was like, I don't know if I like this. And so I have to just like set it aside for a little bit. I told myself I was going to stitch 5 days. I might've been close, but I don't know if it was 5 days, but I didn't want to continue without knowing what I really wanted to do. And there is a part of me that says, just keep going. And I think when it's all done, it will be fine. But I'm a little nervous to put that much effort into something that then it might not be fine. I have thought about kind of going back and trying to pick an actual palette and say like, okay, if it is this moss green color, it has to be like greens that might be different. I'm going to get my color theory words mixed up here, but like different shades, right? Like to dark of a similar hue. Is that right? So I think what I'm not liking is that I have things like this very muddy yellow, but next to this very bright yellow, right? And so it would be like, okay, maybe it's yellows, but that are like similar in tone. Is tone the right word? I don't remember now. I hope that you understand what I mean. And kind of approaching it that way and having more of a palette with a little bit of variation in it, but maybe not as much as what I have going on right here. And so because I can't make a decision, we're just going to set this one aside and think about it later. But I think I'll really like it when it's done somehow or another. Like the pattern was fun to stitch. And I did like that. I like right now what I'm feeling is just keep going, just keep going. And I think when you're done, you'll like it. And you're giving up too quickly. We shall see. But I stopped. And so what I did instead, and I did this once before, this already happened twice in WIPGO for me, where I started something, because most of these aren't actually WIPs for me, because I didn't have that many to start with. They are starts. And I start something and then I go, I don't really like this. It was the dog lessons one. I do have an idea for that one that I think I'm going to try. But what I did was I just, oh, the cats. Hi. What I think I'm going to do is, I'm sorry, what I did was just pick another project that was somewhere on the board and started that. So, what's up, Ginge? Yeah, okay. So that was this How Does Your Garden Grow pattern, which is, surprise, surprise, another Emma Condon pattern. This one came from this calendar. I bought this a while ago. I know it's a 2022 calendar, but I bought it way before 2022 at one of my LNSs. It comes with a bunch of different patterns. That one for sure is my favorite. So you get like, this is legit a calendar, and I'm just using this because it's the biggest picture of the finished project. Then there's like a magazine that comes with it that has the actual pattern in it, but like the picture is like that big of the finished thing. So that's why I'm showing you this. So I started this one instead. As usual, when it comes to Emma Condon designs, I love it to stitch it. And I have got all the words done, and I'm starting some of the little motifs around it. And I'm sorry, there was no time for ironing today, so it is kind of wrinkly. Oh, okay, where are you going? Please don't, oh, please don't, yeah, don't mess with the phone. So I had, the day I decided to do this, there were 5 days left in the month. And I was like, okay, I'll get 5 days done on that one, and we'll just count that for this month. Like, I'm really not following the whip coat. I know there's not rules, your board, your rules, blah, 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 but I really am, I am quite making it my own. And so this is, what is today? The 29th. So I told myself I would work on this. I had the weekend, and like Sunday, I do get more stitching time in than normally during the week. So that's why so much of this is done. Okay, the cat is totally moving the camera now. Okay, I'm gonna scoot you a little bit so the board that this is on is not under her butt. Okay. See, no matter what happens, we just have to keep going today. Okay, so I have 2 more days that I'll stitch on that, and then probably I will set it aside. So certain things, like the bunny one, this one, no, not that one. Where did it go? This one. Oh my gosh, this guy that I showed you. This one, once I was done with 5 days, I was close enough to the end that I needed to just finish it. Like, is the camera moving? Oh my God, seriously, animals. Okay, we're good. I just need to adjust, slightly adjust. Because now she's bathing herself and this whole thing. Okay. But you get to a point where it's like, okay, I just have to finish it. Like, even if I've done my 5 days, it's too close to being done to stop now. That's where this one fell in. And so I just finished it. I don't even remember how many days it actually took me to finish it. This one, I don't think, I won't be close enough that I personally will feel that way. I don't know. I'm certainly not a monogamous stitcher anymore. But it is sort of like I almost become that hyper focused on something when I get close enough to the end of it that I can see the finish line. So I don't know if that happens to you too. Okay, so that is everything as far as my stitching goes. Now I have some haul to share. I'm going to group this into 2 things. One, we'll start with the old stuff. So this is, I was told about this store, and it was someone that watches my videos that is local here, maybe Lucy, I think, told me about this store. And it is in Cleveland, and it is called Upcycle Art, I believe is the name of it. And it is basically a thrift store for like art and craft supplies. Super fun place. And I think I have heard of places like this in other cities too. So, you know, you might check it out and see if you have one near you. And so when you go in, the first floor is like organized roughly by like categories of the stuff, right? So there was a small area, they had like some drawers with like floss and DMC in it, just, you know, like here's the cool colors and here's the warm colors, right? It's not going to be organized like a DMC display. Well, depending apparently on your Michaels, sometimes it's not so good. Our stores here are usually pretty decently organized in their DMC area, but it's not going to be like that. There's like a little bin that had some like old pieces of Ada cloth in it and stuff. But the super fun part is then when you go in the basement is like fill a bag and take whatever you want. I think it was like $10, and like they weren't little bags, they were pretty big bags, right? Now, down there I found things, like there was a whole like bin of cross stitch patterns, most of which seemed to have come from one person. Like it had to be someone's collection that either they stopped cross stitching or like maybe they passed and their family like donated it. I don't know. It was so much fun to like look through. A lot of it, like if you like precious moments patterns and you are anywhere near here, or honestly, like tell me, and if I'm there next time, I will look, because there were tons of them. I have one in this pile. Okay, so there's a couple things that I took from that basement, and like I certainly didn't fill a bag because there, you know, there wasn't, I mean, there was enough, but I didn't want to take stuff I knew I would never do. And so then what they kind of do is say like, man, that looks like $2 worth of stuff, right? And it's just this very random thing, which I love. And I happen to have gone on, because literally I think they charged me like $2 for everything I'm about to show you. And then they, if you go on Friday and it's your first time going, I don't know if it's just the first Friday of the month or any Friday, they give you half off if it's like your first time visiting. And so it was. And so like the lady literally looks at my stuff and she's like, okay, well, it's like $2 worth. And so it'll just be $1. And I was like, no, I will give you $2. It's fine. So I didn't really take advantage of the half price thing because it just seemed kind of crazy. So here is what, I will show you what I got. And there are a few things here that are in the category of like, I'm going to show you, and I'm not really sure where I took it. So like, if you want it, I'll tell you. If you want this, just let me know. I'll happily like send it to you. All right. So I took a piece of pink. It's just pink, basic 14 count Aida, 14 count, I think, Aida. Yeah, but it's a pretty pale pink color. I bet I'll find something to do with that. That's a keeper. Okay, this is one I took. It has, I think that this is 18 count Aida. And it's like a brown color, which, you know, I could probably have done that garden one on here, but yeah, whatever. I had the other piece, but it actually does come with a pattern. Sorry. Okay. And I know this is, I think this is one of those where it's actually a photograph of the pattern. So taking it out of here might not. Oh, wow. We have like multiple layers of plastic here. Let's see if this is any better. And so it's like this lady and she is quilting and it has a quote that says, I place the pieces of my quilt in order and design. The path it takes, the love it makes, forever will be mine. And it's like, it's not a horrible pattern, but I won't stitch that. But the pattern is here. So this falls into the category of, if you want this pattern, say the word and I will mail it to you. If multiple people haven't asked for it, I'll just do like a random pick thing of it. But that would be the like, I would like the quilt pattern or something with the word quilt, I guess, in it. I don't get that many comments, so I'm sure I can figure it out. Okay, so that is the quilt one. And then pattern-wise, I got this book that has a bunch of different floral patterns in it. And I specifically liked these butterfly and floral combinations. And there's a couple of those. So there's a few things in here that I think I would actually like to stitch and think I like those butterflies are probably the ones I will do. And then I'll pass this along to someone else eventually. This was an issue of, let's see, what is it dated? January, February, 1986. Back when I was in high school. Okay, so this is cross stitch. I mean, this is like back when I probably was originally cross stitching. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. And I just was drawn to this pattern on the front and the Delft blue. It's got this like quote about mothers on the front that I'm not because I have anything against that, but I don't like, I would like it better if it were just the alphabets. And so I'm trying to think of a way that maybe I could like modify that slightly. I think it's doable. I think somehow it is doable. Somehow. We'll figure it out. But I thought it was pretty. And it went in the bag. I don't know that there was any, I know I looked through this. I don't think there was anything else in here that was really anything I would probably stitch other than that pattern on the front. So we got that. This one, Spirit of Spring, which I feel like there's probably, if I went and looked, I bet there are versions of this for other seasons. And it's like a porch and these trees. And what I really liked was like, even if you just did this tree part, like here, and I like how it like fades out with the gray. Yeah, and I thought about only doing like a portion of the pattern that way and just doing like that tree, the trees. I don't know, but I liked it. Now it does make me kind of want to see if I can find other, I'm just seeing if it mentions anything in here about other patterns, but it doesn't. But I bet if there's a spirit of spring, there's a spirit of winter, autumn, and summer. If I were a betting lady. And then I got, okay, I'm going to show this one next. So this one, this is the Only Precious Moments one I took. And I took it because I watch in true, like I can never remember It's the B. Anyway, there's another Flosstube I watch, and I know she collects Noah's Ark patterns. And so I'm like, well, I mean, I'm taking stuff here, so I'll just throw this in with it in case she doesn't have this one, but she does. So I kind of have this one. I will not stitch it. So this is definitely if you would like this Noah's Ark pattern, just let me know. And I will happily send that off to somebody. It's a nice pattern, but I know I won't do it. So let me know. And then I'm trying to like lead up to my favorite ones. Okay, I'm gonna show you this. This was a whole kit. And I'm gonna be honest, kit, okay? When I saw this, I was like, ooh, it's like a cross stitch stocking. No, it's not. Like, read Samantha, it's a needlepoint stocking. And so I thought about just doing it. Now, there's some things about this that I like, but this jacket thing that the snowman is wearing, that's got true, like, early 90s vibes to me. And I was trying to figure out a way that I could, like, change it. And even just make it stripes. Like, I think if I took those triangles off, I don't know. I don't know if I will ever put the effort into actually making this. And so I'm going to throw this into the category. If someone, like, nobody may even want this, but like if somebody wants this, I will send you the whole thing. It has the floss in it. It has the like thing that is like stamped, whatever. It's needlepoint. I don't know anything about it, really. And I didn't pay close enough attention. Yeah, I don't really ever see myself doing it. So if you want it, let me know. I would love for it to have a good home, right? Okay, then what I felt like was my best score when I looked at that stuff was this Prairie Schooler pattern. And I actually really like it. And it is called Garden Samplers. And they're all three of them are cute. Ooh, there's a pattern there. Okay, I couldn't have shown it that long. Garden Samplers, they're all very cute. These actually one of these would look really cute with that. How does your garden grow? Ooh, yes. I might have to get the same fabric to do it on. I'm trying to decide which one I like. I think it's this one with the vegetables is kind of my favorite. But I also do like this birdhouse one. I think it's between those two. The other one is just like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a shed or like a gazebo. I don't know. They're all kind of cute. So I will definitely stitch some of those at some point. So that, I felt like that was a good find. And one I will definitely do. But my favorite, and this may surprise you, I don't know, but my absolute favorite thing I found was this Holly Hobbie pattern. I mean, people, I totally had a Holly Hobbie doll, and she was like ragged. Like, my mom probably still has her. I'll have to ask her, Mom, do you still have the Holly Hobbie doll? And then I'll have to show it. Here's the story I distinctly remember about my Holly Hobbie doll. Okay, warning, I'm going to talk about throwing up. Okay, so I remember one Easter, my mom will tell me if this is right or if it, somehow like your kid brain, like you remember things differently than how they really happened. Okay, but I remember one Easter getting like a big chocolate bunny and just scarfing down and eating this entire chocolate bunny. And then like probably the next morning or whatever, puking up the chocolate bunny. And you can imagine that's pretty gross. But it got all over the Holly Hobbie doll as I remember it. And so at the time, we did not have like a washer and dryer at our house. We would go to the laundromat. And so Holly Hobbie, like I'm sure my mom like kind of rinsed her out and cleaned her up a little bit. Again, if this even happened the way I think I remember it. And then we took her to the laundromat and she went through like the wash cycle to get truly cleaned. And you know, then she was really never the same again, right? Like once you put a doll like that through the wash, like she's gonna get a little softer and warm. And then we were coming home and Holly Hobbie was on top of the laundry basket as we were, like, why do I remember this? I don't know. but she was on top of the basket with all the laundry and just happened to like accidentally fall off into a mud puddle. And so she had to like get washed all over again. So I had like a couple of the Holly Hobby dolls. Like I think she had friends, right? Like, and so I think I had a couple of them, but like Holly herself was in a very different state of being than her friends after all of that. But it's like one of those, okay, I'm back. Okay, so this is the point where I really hope I can easily figure out how to put 2 videos together. I really wanted to avoid having to do that, but my video stopped, like, after my puked all over Holly Hobby story. All right, so I showed you the Holly Hobby pattern. That takes care of all the stuff that I bought from the Upcycle Art Shop. So the rest of my haul is new, mostly market purchases that we'll go through pretty quickly here. And if I can't figure this out, this may be part of a video you see like later in life. I don't know. Okay, so I have 2 LNSs near me. I know, I've said before, embarrassment of riches. And so I tried to like purchase things from each of them. So these first few things that I'm going to show you came from Just Stitching in Strongsville, Ohio. Okay. And the first one is the Stitching with the Housewives, Daisy May. She is cute and I love her. Okay, so I know they give you instructions for how to dye the fabric to look like that. I love the color. Like, I would like it a little less grungy, but the color is great. I tried to look through fabric that Shelly had. There wasn't really anything that quite was that color, but she did have this green. It's like a pale, and we were discussing the color. Light mint. It's 32 count Belfast linen light mint. So it's not the color that is called for, but I do think it would look good. And I bought the yellow that is called for, which is Queen Bee. And like, I feel like it might work on the green. I'm not gonna probably start this right away because we're getting close to Easter and I already have a bunny thing I stitched this year. So this might be a next year thing. And maybe by then I will be prepared to try to dye my own fabric, but I have this piece as an alternative. We'll see. I only got this yellow in the Fancy Floss colors because I feel like it's the only one where like the variegation is going to matter. The rest I'll probably just use DMC. So that was that purchase. Okay, we're running out of room here. And then I bought, what else did I buy there? I think, okay. I got this is not new. I think they did come out with some new, Heart and Hand came out with some new bird in the hand patterns. And I saw them and thought, oh, those are, oh God, this light. Those are really cute. But this is I think an older one that is for winter. I'm looking to see if there's a date. I'm sure there's somewhere on here, but anyway, I thought that was a cute one and I might start doing some of those. I don't know, whatever, we just bought it. And then the last thing that I bought at Just Stitching was, okay, she has it all nicely organized here for me. Seasons of the Heart. Well, it's from With Thy Needle and Thread. I don't know if spring into, like it says spring into summer and fall into winter. And it's these 4 houses. I'm going to do them separately. And I'm probably not going to put this, like they give you paper that has this printed on it and tell you to put it like on a piece of chipboard or something. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to just extend the border and leave it and not do it. I did buy the fabric and I think I ended up getting 36 count. It calls for Vintage Country Mocha And I got it in 30, yeah, this is 36 count. I will do it on the not splotchy side, because, which probably, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even be bothering to get this, but whatever. That is what I got. So I got the fabric for those and a lot of the flosses, not all of them. Again, I kind of looked at the pattern and thought, where do you see it? And then I will tell you, there were some things like the called for color of this house was, I mean, to my eye, it was orange. And I was like, no, that's red, right? Like to go with the red. So there were times where I picked different colors. And I know that when I ended up buying cherry cobbler, because I felt like like if I see something and I like the picture, then I want it to look like the picture. The other one that was really off to me was the color of the winter house. It looked very green, whereas to me that looks more like a robin's egg blue. So I got, this is Weeks Seafoam instead. So I made a few substitutions on the colors already. But we'll just add this to my growing pile of seasonal things that I have to stitch. I think I'm going to start with the summer one though, and try and start that one over this summer. Okay, so that is done. That is everything that I got at Just Stitching. Then our other local store is the Crafty U. And if you went to the Steel City Stitchers Retreat, which unfortunately I could not because it was in February, again, tax season. But if you were lucky enough to go, they were the shop that set up like a remote store or whatever there. And mostly there I bought patterns. So my must-have, like when I saw the market releases, my must-have patterns, I was like, I'm totally buying those, were Daisy May, because I thought it was real cute, in my number 2 spot. My number 1 spot was the Hands-On Design A Year of Celebrations, season 2, A Year of Celebrations continues. And there, so obviously, I'm sure everybody knows, there's like a number 1 version of this that was a little more like holiday related, where these are truly, well, but like November has turkeys on it. I don't know. It's a little more seasonal. Like I liked all the months, and there was not a leprechaun on March. I don't really like leprechauns or gnomes. They're not really, it's not my thing. So March is like a cauldron with a bunch of, what do you call that? 4-leaf clovers, shamrocks in it. That I can get on board with. So these are really cute. I think they're planning some sort of like stitch along thing for these or whatever. I didn't buy fabric yet because I'm not, like, I feel like the pictures look darker than I would like. I don't know if that's really what the fabric looks like, but I don't have to start this right this minute, so I'm gonna wait and pick a fabric. So those are my 2. I also did really like, and so I bought this, the Primrose Cottage ABC with these little bee things. Those are cute. I will probably just stitch that exactly as it is called for. And that looks like it'll be relatively quick and easy to do. So I got that one. And, oh, this one is not a new release, but I saw it there. And I've seen people stitching these. Oh, okay. These are also Heart and Hand doodles. I bought the autumn, mostly because I want some patterns that are autumn but not Halloween. And I liked this one. I don't know if I will necessarily do the others. Like, I think she had the others there, but like this one I really like. The other ones I was kind of like, meh. So I probably will only do this one and not all of the seasons. But I got that. And then I had to get, okay, this is my first Teresa Kogut pattern. This bird, giant bird, like I love him. I love that. So I definitely wanted to do that one, so I got it. I actually even don't hate this pattern, but I'm not super keen on these people. So I don't know if this is another like do part of it, but then I look at that house and I go, that is a lot. And there's another pattern in here that has a house. Let me see if I can show you that without, yeah, showing you pattern. That's called our Whimsy Home. And it has like more birds and flowers and a slightly more manageable size house. So I might do that one. So I might, these two are the ones that I would definitely like to do. They give off a fall vibe to me, so I'm gonna include them as fall kind of projects, I think. Yeah, so I got that. The other Teresa Kogut book with that amazingly beautiful sampler in like blues and browns. I do love it. And I kind of do want to buy it, but I kind of want to change the colors and make it like bright. And I'm a little bit afraid. So we're not quite jumping on that one yet, but probably eventually I will. And then my most difficult decision, and I will tell you, I failed at trying to be have any restraint. So these are from Leela's studio, and there is a Spring Parade set 1 and set 2. And if you've seen set 2, the bunnies are now riding in a strawberry, a radish, I think it's a radish, an artichoke. I forget what the fourth one was. Anyway. And I loved the strawberry. Like, if I could have picked 4, I bet you did this on purpose. Like, I think these are all together because they're all Eastery, and the other ones are more just garden-y, not without being Eastery. So that's probably maybe why they're separated the way that they are, but I love that strawberry bunny. But I'm like, you don't need both of these. Like, you don't need both of these. So I was like, pick one. So I picked this one and I got it. And then when I went to Just Stitching, I was like, can you just order me the set 2? She didn't have it. Yeah, but she's gonna get it. So in the end, I'm gonna end up having all 8 of them. So I'm not exactly, this is another, I won't stitch this until probably next year. And they give you the idea of how to, or the like pattern of how to stitch them together on one piece. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. So I didn't buy fabric or anything for this because I gotta think about that. So that is all I've gotten so far. Oh, and then I did buy, this was also at Crafty U, just a piece, this was in their like remnant piece, and this is Bergen Flax 46 count. So I just wanted to get it as a like, let's just try. And I'm kind of wondering if I could put my Holly Hobby on this. I bet she'd fit. I'm gonna do it over 2. I'm not doing any of this crazy over 1 on 46 count yet, but I'm trying to get into like higher counts and figure out if I like it and can do it. So I thought this would be a good, it's a big enough piece that like I could put something decent sized on there. Maybe Holly Hobby. These would actually, I wonder what this calls for. Probably not this, but whatever. Okay, so that is what I got. Okay, so that's all the haul. All right, so last thing is the giveaway, because I said we were gonna do that. So today is my 1-year anniversary of my first Flosstube video. I truly didn't really expect anybody to watch. And it's not like I have a really big channel or huge following or whatever, because I don't do the things that you have to do to like build that. I'm just coming out here, talking about my stitching. I throw the video up. I hardly ever post anything, like cross post to other social media things. Very rare, I don't know, whatever. I know I'm not doing the right things. It's not my goal. Like, community building in the sense of like, I love when people make comments and I'll comment back, and like there's a little bit of like a relationship there, but like I'm just doing this for fun. So I fully appreciate that like every video I post, there's like a couple people that will leave a comment, and like 100+ people will like it, which I know in the world of YouTube is like nothing. I don't care. There's 100 people that liked my video enough to click the little button and say I like it. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm very happy with that. I very much appreciate the people that have subscribed. I don't even know what my subscriber count is. I'm sure I should know that, but I don't know. I know I'm not to 1,000 people yet. Like I'm something less than that, like 500 people maybe. I don't know. But I appreciate the people that are here and do listen and, you know, whatever. So, because I know excuse me, based on comments, it's not just US. So I wanted to do a giveaway that like everybody could participate in and I wouldn't have to worry about like mailing stuff. So I'm going to just do a $25 gift card. And I was originally going to just say Etsy. But then I was like, well, anywhere that I could get a like digital gift, you know, just give me your email and I will make sure that the gift card is sent to you. And I know 123 Stitch will do that. So I'll say Etsy or 123 Stitch, but if there's another place, you know, if you happen to be the winner and it's like, oh, I love to shop here and I know you can do the Etsy or the gift card, you know, electronically there, that's fine. Whatever, wherever you want is fine. $25 of a gift card. Okay, so what do I mean, I don't know who wouldn't want to win that. So like, I feel like I should just pick randomly from the comments, but it's the old, please be over 18, even though I don't really have to ask for your address. I don't know if that still counts, but we'll just still say, please be over 18. Don't say giveaway, you know, so that we don't get spammers doing that. Okay, tell me this. Here's a question. So, my friends and I go to this craft retreat and, I'm trying to think what word I'm going to say for this though, now that I'm thinking of it. Okay, we'll figure this out as we go. We go to this craft retreat. When we first started, it was my friend Julie and I, and we would scrapbook there. And that is what we did. And as we have expanded, like I would do some card making. Julie stuck pretty true to the scrapbooking most of the time that we went. But when we went last summer, she did this, like, she had all these kits of different things. She did like a macrame thing and a slow stitch thing and like all these different things. And I was like, well, this is fun. Like, I want to do these different things. And I think I brought some cross stitch. I don't think I actually cross stitched much while I was there. I did work on cards more, but I'm thinking when we go, we're going in July this year. And so I think that I'm going to try some other things. And here's what I'm thinking I want to do is almost like a sampler. I have a desire to make myself some cute project bags because I just have like these ones from Amazon. And so I thought if I tried some things like English paper piecing, for example, is on my list. I could just make a cute little bag front. Like, I'm not going to make a whole quilt. That's not happening. But I can make a cute front. I could do some slow stitch thing and make it the front of a bag, right? I could, I don't know, whatever. Like, and so I'm almost thinking like it will be a way, like, if I make something that I would display in some other way, I will. But like, the fallback is always going to be make a bag out of it. So I'm curious because when I started going down this path of trying to find things that were already in like a kit form, I'm having a hard time finding things that to me match my style. So I think I'm going to have to just like kind of do my own thing, which is probably it's going to take me tons more time, but that's okay. But I feel like I'm uncovering all these other things, right? Like slow stitch, I didn't know what that was until Julie told me what it was. And now like I'm kind of checking that out. And English paper piecing, I didn't know what that was. So I feel like there's probably all these other like crafts that I don't even know exist, right? That like I might want to try. So tell me in the comments what other like and specific, I mean, you can tell me whatever you want. I'm going to tell you like knitting and crochet. No, probably I've tried them. I'm not good. It's not good. So those are probably not going to be on my list. But are there any other, like, what are your other hobbies, I guess, is my point. So use the word hobbies, plural. Use hobby or hobbies. Okay, whatever. I'll look for both and we'll figure it out. But like, what are your other, do you have other hobbies? Is there anything that you're like, here's this kind of, and I want to hear about all of it. Like, even if it is like knit or crochet or something that's very like mainstream and lots of people do it. But I'm also very interested of these sort of little niches that at least I don't think they're as well known yet. You know, again, so like the slow stitch thing was something I didn't know about. And then there are all these like the art of Japanese mending kind of things. I don't remember the word, but anyway, there's all kinds of stuff out there like this. So I'm curious to know what other hobbies you have. So leave me a comment. So tell me, use the word hobby or hobbies, and tell me about your other hobbies, because I would love to hear about it. And then from those comments, I will pick a winner and do this $25 like electronic gift card thing. Fair warning, for sure, that is not happening until after the tax deadline. So our tax deadline here is April 18th. So I'm going to make that the deadline for entering this, April 18th. Probably I will try on the 19th, but I will make no promises because I will probably be exhausted. But if I can, I will at least choose a winner and reach out to you. Probably won't make a video that day, but whatever. Yeah, so tell me about that, because I want to find some other like fun, not super time consuming things, or like kits or something that you've bought, anything. Just tell me about it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this has gotten to be I think this is gonna be a pretty long video by the time I splice the two parts together. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you. Thank you for being a viewer, and for those of you that participate and like and comment and all that stuff and subscribe. I very much appreciate you, and I will continue to do this as long as I'm stitching, because it's kind of fun to do so. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Say a prayer for your accountants for the next few weeks. We need it. And I will see you on the other side of tax deadline. Bye.